Nice clap in there.
Ready? 3 on 1.
3, 2, 1.
Yes. 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Alrighty.
Bro, this chair is...
Wait, are you gonna face more? Are you gonna face more? You know what's so funny? I just realized in real time.
Okay. What?
Is like.
Yeah. Go on.
That's why podcasting works. I just learned my first lesson in podcasting.
What's your first lesson?
Well, first lesson is like it's actually a really good form because there's very little self-awareness. Like I immediately was like, oh, I'm just sitting down with my friend having a conversation.
Yeah.
I felt no pressure. I felt more nervous about it about 30 seconds ago. And now I don't feel nervous at all.
I feel kind of self-aware about that, like what I'm saying right now is being recorded. Like even just like...
It's interesting. I don't feel self-aware at all.
No.
I don't. It was really strange. But maybe it's. I shouldn't assume that's everyone's. But I just
maybe
sort of
you're
had
just
that.
a better man than me, Dad.
Yeah, absolutely. That's most likely the case. Bitch.
All right.
Are you gonna face? Are you gonna? I think that we should keep all this in. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Of course. Yeah. What else are we gonna do with it?
We don't edit around here.
We don't edit.
Are you gonna more face me like that? Am I like? Well, how much does it look like I'm facing you?
Do you want me to get up and look?
No. But how much?
I don't feel like you're not facing
It felt
me.
all of a sudden like you were like right in my...
In my mind, I am more than a 45 away from the camera, but I don't think I'm cutting myself off.
I understand.
I know they can see this eye. They very possibly can't see me here.
I think my
guys.
face... Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my face looks pretty good when it's kind of half of a face.
Oh, yeah?
I have a good face for a profile, I think.
I mean, we could try
Maybe I'm wrong, but...
Dude, this chair is fucking...
Is it nasty that I have my feet out?
No, honestly, I'm
Slash,
hot
would
right
people
now.
even be able to see? What?
Dude, maybe part of being in a hot attic is we're going to have to wear, like, shorts and tanks the whole time.
Yeah, no, it's not that hot. You're also Italian, so...
I'm also wearing fucking pants and work shoes and...
Do you think Italians are sweatier than Irish people? Probably, right?
Well, I don't know,
Inherently.
but you guys get burnt by the sun, don't you?
Yeah, and I get very sweaty. I don't know. I
don't
feel like...
sweat.
Yeah, Irish people were not made for the sun. There's
You know what,
no way... There's no... I was just wondering if...
Yeah,
I think I was...
take this off too, man.
Yeah, it's a good vibe for just...
Dude, I think it depends on what
Doing
the
a-
impetus for the sweating is. Like, for me, I don't
Yeah.
think the sun kills me, but also, like...
Not sponsored by Gatorade. We're
Not so. Yeah, but like exercising too hard doesn't get me either. You know. Do you get itchy when
I
you
was
get
saying
hot?
that. Itchy when?
When like you're hot
Yes.
outside. I hate that feeling.
But it's my. I think the longer I've lived in California, the easier I adjust. But I used to get, like on the East Coast, I have memories of like. In Massachusetts, I have memories of spring rolling around, and all of a sudden I'm itchy as fuck. But I think my body adjusts to it. But I know what you're talking about. There's like an itchiness. I think what it is. This could be completely false, and I would love for someone who actually knows something.
Jamie, could you look this up? Real quick?
Yeah. Sure. Jamie, just so everyone knows, we're a broke podcast at the moment. We don't have anyone back there. We should pretend there's like
Is it
someone.
Garcon?
Yeah, we should call him Garcon.
Garcon. Can you?
That would be a really. To me, that's funny. Maybe it's stupid. Wait, what was I saying though?
You were talking about
Is
itchies.
this still recording? Yeah, it is.
Itchies. The sun itchies.
I think that's an allergy you develop to the sun. I would love for someone who knows more about biology to prove that, to say I'm completely have my head up my ass, or say I'm right.
Is that going to be one of the
But think about it. It actually makes sense because the thing that breeds allergies is a lack of exposure. It's like the whole thing. It's like the Jonathan Haidt thing about. He included in his book, like The Coddling of the American Mind, something about how there was an experiment done that pregnant mothers who were told to stay away from peanuts and didn't eat peanuts during pregnancy, and then pregnant mothers who did, the pregnant mothers who avoided peanuts during pregnancy, their children had a higher rate of peanut allergies.
Oh, interesting.
I think I'm getting that right. Which I just think is like, so it's quite possible if you're someone who lives in cold weather, it's quite possible the sun comes out and you're slightly allergic to the sun.
Because of underexposure.
I just put that together. I think it's possible.
I could have swore I chatted with Eva the other day, and she said it could also be
Eva's our roommate.
Yeah. I could have swore if it was her that she or whoever said something to the effect of when we sweat, our glands or the wherever the oils come from.
Yeah.
Also, like maybe they get not clogged isn't the right word, but there's
irritated or something.
Yeah, exactly, and that's where I can like, I don't know. It could also.
I wonder if we're saying the same thing.
Right, it could be part of the allergic reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I put together the allergic reaction thing, I'm a genius. I just want to say, yes. All right.
Now a genius.
We have to get to. Gabe just flashed the card at me. We have to get to what the podcast is.
Oh,
I thought we were having some good banter up top.
We can keep bantering.
You dick. Well, then you flashed the sign at me. The
I'm
podcast,
hoping, man.
the Movie Addicts podcast.
I got it staring at me in the face and like, I don't know.
The Movie Addicts podcast begins and ends with the first episode.
Wait. Should I be self-conscious about too much banter? Is there such thing as too much banter?
Personally, you're watching us work out the podcast in real time. Personally, I don't think so.
How many minutes are we in right now?
7, almost. Here's the thing. If it was over 10 minutes of banter, I'd be like, we got to get on with this shit.
Got it.
But I put together some great shit with the allergy thing.
Yeah,
I feel like we're honest. Anyway, this is...
If you didn't know, Dale's our resident biologist. He went to UCLA for biology.
Yes. But I'm Dale.
This is Gabe.
And this is Movie Addicts.
Ooh.
Because only chumps talk about movies in the goddamn basement. I'm just reading off of... It's like, speaking of... Well, now we're transitioning to movies. It's like in Dark Knight where the Joker has the guy and he's like, you know, the Joker makes like scary videos and he has like the guy like, but the Joker is like, almost like, you
gotta reenact it with the camera. You just gotta run.
What's the thing called where a marionette? The Joker is like almost marionetting cue cards. It's a very elaborate little production design detail in the Dark Knight. But the Joker, like, you know, because he's like kidnapping people and whatever, and he kidnaps some guy, and the guy's like reading messages off of these like silly little cue cards.
Yeah.
And they're like fluttering away.
You know, just talking that real quick, movie-wise, I think if because I haven't seen Dark Knight in a minute, but if that's true and like what I'm seeing is what you're talking about, the whole like the whole what's the word? People, you literally just used it when people are kidnapped. The whole ransom.
Yeah, ransom.
Call it. On camera works way better in Dark Knight than in the Batman. I did not like Paul Dano with all the up close shots in camera.
I felt like
I just didn't buy it.
Well, first of all, I think you and I both really liked that movie, The Batman.
Yeah.
As a disclaimer, right? Or don't you really liked it?
I really enjoyed it. I especially.
I think what you're saying. I think what you're saying is interesting.
I especially like the world building as opposed to Dark Knight, which I think the relationships were stronger in Dark Knight.
Yes.
I think the world building and the plotting was super interesting in the Batman.
I think you and I both agree. I feel like the first time we saw it, you and I both said Chris Nolan didn't care as much, clearly, in the Dark Knight trilogy about building out the world.
Also, disclaimer, we're not huge DC fans.
For sure.
Like, I more so will geek out over... Like,
I love Batman.
Like, comic books and stuff like that. But I did not grow up on comic. Did you grow up on comic books?
I read a lot of graphic novels, but a lot of them weren't... I read some superhero graphic novels, but a lot of them were actually, like, Star Wars graphic novels and completely unrelated, like, literary graphic novels, shit like that.
Okay.
So not like a DC. I had some. Like, I wish I could produce my comic book graphic novel collection because it was pretty sick.
Yeah.
And I have no idea where that stuff went. I probably got thrown out, which sucks.
Mm.
Because I would love to know what, like, 10-year-old Colin was, like, flipping through. I have no idea. I remember I fucking loved graphic novels, which makes sense because I love movies. I feel like they're very similar.
Yeah.
I feel like I cut you off. What were you saying? Oh, I think I agree with you about the Paul Dano thing. I felt like that was something that Matt Reeves, the director of the Batman. I feel like he was ripping off. It felt like he was ripping off the Paul Dano videos from The Dark Knight. That's what it felt like to me. It didn't feel authentic.
It just didn't feel as authentic.
And granted, like this is where maybe my lack of knowledge of the comic books, because Matt Reeves came into our seminar at the AFI and was like talking about the specific graphic novels, Batman graphic novels that he was referencing. So that was probably just in the graphic novels, some form of that. But maybe it's not even a Matt Reeves thing. Maybe it's a Paul Dano thing. It felt a little bit like. It almost felt like inauthentic to the Riddler character.
Well, I honestly struggled with the whole Riddler character, to be honest. I just think I admittedly have not seen the Jim Carrey Riddler, and I haven't watched a lot of the DC...
in the Val Kilmer, the Tim Burton.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I haven't seen a lot of the DC animated cartoons, so like this might be totally
I used to like those back in the day.
Unfounded, but yeah. But the point is, like, when I think Riddler, I think like slim and tall and charismatic and maniacal, but very calculated. And Paul Dano felt very calculated, but he just didn't have any of the charisma or the mania. You know what I'm saying? So there's something that, like, to be fair, what I was kind of hoping for very well just didn't work in that world. You know, like, they wanted somebody who was... It was you know, it's interesting thinking on it right now. It almost feels like Paul Dano's Riddler was like a version of Paul Dano's character from Prisoners if it was years later in Gotham.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, what happens if the world continued to treat him the way it did? You know?
Dude, I think that's the thing about... And Bob Pattinson... Shout out to Bob Pattinson. Great actor. He's a great actor.
He is.
I think it's crazy to me how good he's proven himself to be in the last 5 years.
I want to asterisk something on that.
But
okay.
Wait, Paul Dano. That's the problem I think with casting on big movies like the Batman.
Okay.
Is the studio is gonna want, from like my understanding, the studio would want a sure thing. Like I think the way it's funny because the way Matt Reeves was describing it, he was talking about casting Robert Pattinson as if it was a risk, or as if the studio thought it was a risk to some extent, and how he had to fight for it. So I'm like, what that suggests to me is that there were some people that if you had brought up to the studio, like, I want these people, and those people were like what they already had in mind, they'd be like, oh, great. But Robert Pattinson felt like a little bit of a risk to people on the business side of things. But I think what's interesting is that, like, I think the casting of other roles to me is like a studio, like I feel like it feels like the studio probably needs like a sure thing. And so like it's like, oh, Paul Dano's done pretty much the thing that you're trying to do already, like let's just get him in this. Not that Paul Dano's not great, but like you're saying, Paul Dano has already done that.
Paul Dano's one of my favorites.
Great fucking actor. Yeah. But it's like Paul Dano's already done the kind of thing you're trying to go for in Prisoners. Like he's already done it in another movie. We can see it. There's the cinematographic evidence that like he can do the thing. And I feel like that's the case with, I think other like it feels like that's the case with big movies sometimes. It's like they need like the sure thing. And so what you end up getting is like maybe a bunch of actors, not all across the board, but like maybe you get some actors who like have already kind of done that thing. And like they're not going to say no because it's a really good role with good pay. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I hear what you're saying about like Paul Dano, that like the Riddler, Paul Dano's Riddler being similar to.
Well, there's two things happening there. There's the one thing where I'm getting like Paul Dano hangover from Prisoners, but then there's the second part of like there are no strong personalities in that film.
In Prisoners?
Batman?
Yeah.
And when I say strong personalities,
I
I
know
really
what
mean
you mean.
colorful personalities.
That's actually true. I never thought of that.
Other
Well, except for
than
the Penguin.
The Penguin. But the Penguin, even then, he's rooted in the, like, he is the strongest personality in the underworld. John, what's his name? Falcone? John, who's the actor? John,
Oh, fuck. I know. Wait, hold on.
it's something Italian.
Dude,
too,
he's
I
been in
think.
so many great... He's in the
good,
Big
yeah.
Lebowski.
Yeah.
Dude.
Point is, I think, if they allowed him to go a step further, he always has like a nice little touch of flamboyance in everything he does, but he just wasn't.
Dude,
in
that
this
is an
film.
interesting thing about
You
the
know?
Batman.
There's not a lot, right? Exactly, and so I would have loved for the Riddler to really take on almost the flamboyance and personality
And that's not what he's doing.
that Ledger brought to the Joker. Like
That's another problem though. It's like what Heath Ledger did was so groundbreaking and so I'm gonna sort of counter what you're saying, like to some extent, because like Heath Ledger's interpretation of the Joker character is so good because he interpreted the Joker as being a complete mess. Like his makeup's all fucked up. He looks like shit. His hair is like half dyed green.
Okay.
Some of these things are like costume and PD and
Yeah.
whatnot, but like not PD, but mainly like costume and
But
wardrobe.
it's not like you're countering me.
What I mean is like, I don't know if what I mean is like, I don't know if Ledger, because that's the other thing is people are like, oh, it's not as good as Heath Ledger as the Joker, because Heath Ledger as the Joker is iconic. But what I mean is,
But I think it could have been.
Ledger, I don't think that's what made. Maybe I'm alone in this.
Okay.
I don't think that's what made Ledger's Joker like iconic. To me, what made it iconic is like his interpretation of the Joker was like, dude, this guy's super silly, but not in like the Jack Nicholson way. It's more. Where Jack Nicholson's like flamboyant.
He really wasn't flamboyant.
But okay, so hold on.
Yeah.
But to me, I almost think, in a way, Paul Dano's interpretation of the Riddler character in the Batman is actually similar to Heath Ledger's in The Dark Knight. It's a little more grounded.
Okay.
Like to me, the Joker in The Dark Knight is pretty grounded, actually. To me,
disagree.
Visually.
I think.
Maybe I'm wrong. Do you get what I'm saying though?
I think what I'm trying to get at is that I feel like the ensemble in The Dark Knight allows there to be the way. Imagine like
What happened? Your balls dropped off?
Your balls drop on.
That's my favorite line.
Just like a dog. You can't put it on. Like, I want to know how to do it.
Oh yeah,
you know?
great line.
No, but what's it called? No, I feel
Oh,
like
I just thought of something else, but go on.
if you imagined the film ensemble cast as a canvas, right?
Yeah.
Colors, different character, different color, right? Batman, everything you could imagine is like a swirl of grays and browns and maybe the occasional red, right?
Yeah,
But it
I'm
all
following.
lives in the same world. The Dark Knight, I imagine as like grays and greens and blues, but the Joker, somehow his color pops
Yeah, I get
amidst
it.
the
Yeah.
entire canvas. I felt like the ensemble, in some way, the personalities, also the way the structure of like the scenes in that film, the way it emphasized Joker really having moments and like table flipping moments in the film,
Yeah.
made the Joker feel iconic. Obviously, Heath Ledger did his work as an actor, and obviously Paul Dano does work as an actor, but I don't think the film, The Batman, was structured in a way that really lifted the Riddler.
No.
And I also don't think that Paul Dano went in a direction that lifted the Riddler. Does that make sense?
I almost think it's like and I don't even know. I almost think that's how.
That's how it was intended?
It's
perhaps?
no, I think it's the way the story was structured, the way the script was structured and things. Where the Riddler's hiding like the whole fucking movie, and I don't know if that is something that the Batman has in common with other Batmans where the Riddler has been a character. I don't think so though.
Yeah.
He's hiding the whole fucking movie. Then they find him like really late in the movie. He doesn't physically show up until super late. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like almost like how...
Yeah, it's like an hour.
And then he's like in prison.
Yeah.
So it's like how much... I think it's almost a matter of the story structure is confining Paul Dano to like a pretty limited toolbox.
I'm going to counter your ass.
Okay, because
I think it was written purposely that way.
I also don't love the Ave Maria thing, but anyway.
I totally agree.
Okay. But I'm come on, Paul.
Like, I think...
Could have done something better.
Matt wrote it, right?
Matt Reeves? I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think...
He brought on some other writer, he said, but then he, like, kind of finished the script himself.
I think it was... I think
he mostly wrote it.
I don't think he dropped the ball in terms of the structure in that sense, because if you think about it, you're going to keep Riddler off the page, out of frame. So when he does show up, it's effective. You know?
The reason you have to keep him off screen is because it's a fucking it's a detective.
Sure. But when he finally shows up, it's the boogeyman. You're punctuating it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you pull the curtain behind the what is it from the Wizard of Oz, behind the Great and Powerful.
The Wizard?
If you pull it too early on the Wizard.
Dude, I have not seen that movie enough times. Wizard of Oz is a great film. Seen it a bunch of times when I was younger. I'm sorry, I'm fucking up.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
I have not seen that film recently enough to know shit about it.
Shit about shit.
My grandfather's like one of his favorite movies. I'm pretty sure it was. So I remember like seeing it so many times at his house as a kid, and I have not seen it recently enough to know jack shit. That's why I was like, the Wizard, the Oz. I was like, wait, what happens in that movie?
No, I just think it's
still a night. I can remember a lot of things, but anyway.
If you pull the curtain too early, it takes some steam off the valve. So structurally fine. You did the right thing, Matt. You kept us waiting with bated breath for what the reveal is going to be. Because the Joker at the top of Dark Knight, you would almost think you'd wait longer to find out who the Joker is, but you find out within like 2 minutes. And it's so unexpected when the mask comes up. Do you remember?
Absolutely. I was going to bring that up too.
You think everybody's
it's a great way to introduce them.
You think everyone's a bunch of goons, and they're all wearing, and then you find out, you know?
Which, by the way, though, is what it supports. I don't know if...
It's great characterization for the Joker.
Yes, and I'm sure that's partly where I feel like Heath Ledger's, again, I think his embodiment of the character was so... Like, the gangster is like the Joker is like a failed gangster. That, to me, was like the interpretation. He was like a failed gangster with like serious like mental health problems or something. Where he's not put together. It seems like he's just making it up as he goes along. And like that seems to like to be across the whole movie. I also think he like kind of wants to fuck Batman a little bit. There's like a weird sort of pseudo-sexual tension.
You think so?
He wants the Batman to like beat him up.
Yeah.
That's like a whole thing, but he like gets off on it. It like arouses him.
Yeah,
I'm not saying, I know that could be a stretch. I'm not saying like
but
the Joker wants to fuck the
the
Batman.
characters. He's trying to get Batman to break the one rule.
Okay, wait, hold on. I want to go back and like ground the conversation we're having. Yes. I want to go back to like the Paul Dano thing. Like, are you? How did we start with the Paul?
So we were talking about whether Dano pops more as a personality, and then we were talking about
you think he doesn't, I sort of agree.
And then we were talking about how the structure may reveal between the two films how Ledger's role was what was written around the plot and the sequences for Joker. He had more moments to pop, but then meanwhile we were just talking about the very beginning, the very first introduction, because the Joker's first introduction is bank heist. All the goons are in there. Yeah, they shoot up the place. Yeah, and then another guy walks in, shoots one of the other goons. Right. Pulls the mask up and says, "What doesn't kill you makes you stranger." You know? It's totally iconic because, like you were saying, that character you never know what he's going to do next. Paul Dano, Ave Maria is happening. The politician's freaking out. Out of the shadows comes this guy with a bunch of duct tape on his head or whatever the fuck. Glasses, and it's just kind of gruesome and grotesque. No personality, but definitely leaves a lot of questions to be answered because it's the Riddler, you know. But I just wish there was. This is what I'm talking about with like when I like movies with personality. I think Tonya has personality. I think a lot of Scorsese films are different.
Personality up the ass, though.
Yes, but different than like Baby Driver personality. But still personality compared to like what we were talking about the other day, like Spielberg. I don't know if personality is quite the right word. You know, like he has his style, but there's just I don't know. But anyway, with the Batman, I don't know. Paul Dano, again, it's not even Paul Dano. But I also think that like film overall.
The movie
Matt Reeves, the Batman, I have to kind of like let go of the fact that like I'm projecting this. Like I like to see that in the villain.
Yeah.
I already have the precedent set by Bane, set by
Ra's
al Ghul, the Scarecrow, set by the Joker.
Right,
that when I see the Riddler come in and kind of just be like another ticked off white guy who's just killing people, you know what I'm saying? It was just kind of like, can we get a little like champagne and balloons in here? Like,
dude, get this man some champagne and some fucking balloons.
I don't know.
I understand what you're saying, but it would have been. Think about this though. We can move on from this topic soon, but you, me and Al watched that scene with the Joker that they cut. So the Joker only has in the Batman, not in the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
But people have maybe seen that scene. There was an extra scene with the Joker where he's talking to the Batman.
Yeah, revealing new details.
I think the scene, first of all, it's hard to comprehend. And I bet it would have been even harder to comprehend within the if it had been dropped in the movie somewhere. Because what's that actor's name who's playing the Joker in that scene?
Barry Keoghan. He was also in like.
Dude, I feel like he's playing
Killing of a Sacred Deer. He was recently in Eternal.
I feel like that guy's in a different movie, which is why I feel like the scene got cut. Yeah, I don't know if this is what I said when me and Al watched the scene, and I remember thinking you wanted it to be left in. Is that what you said? Yeah. Or no? I watched it and was like, oh, thank God they didn't put that in there.
I'm fine with it being in there.
I just think like that's a different. The problem is like I totally hear what you're saying about like gets this man some champagne, some balloons. But if they had let that Joker scene in there, it feels like that actor Barry
Keoghan.
It feels like he's in a different movie. I think he is Irish. It feels like he's in a different movie. Like no disrespect to that guy. What? No, he is Irish. He is Irish. No, you get what I'm saying? And I was like, dude, if they put this scene in there, that would have been garbage.
I appreciate what you're saying, but I think you're also a little bit misguided. Because I don't think he was even going over the top as the Joker. You know? I almost feel like you're insinuating that the Joker doesn't fit into that film. Whereas, like...
Yeah, maybe that's what I think. Yeah,
which I'm fine with that.
It seems like he's going to be in the next movie, though, in the sequel.
I wasn't even in love with his Joker, though. It just felt.
I know that's what I know. That's sort of also why I feel that way.
You know what it also felt like?
Damn, I don't want to be hating on Barry Keoghan.
You can't be. The guy's great.
He's a really good actor.
Mm-hmm. There's something unsettling about him.
Dude, but that's what I'm saying is I wonder if like the Matt Reeves universe, the way it was engineered, at least for the first movie, can't handle the Joker. It needs someone that's more like subdued. I don't know. We'll have to see with the second movie. Because it seems like the Joker's going to be in there.
We're also going to see how dark it gets. Because, like, that Joker with, like, the acid on his hair and his face, like, half falling off. I don't know comics well, so you guys are going to shit on me for this. But there's, I think, a comic called The Killing Joke.
Yes.
Or some Halloween other one.
The Long Halloween.
Yeah, or something like that. And the Joker goes hard and, like, rapes some people and kills some
people.
This
was Matt Reeves referenced the Long Halloween.
Right. And I
said it was, like, super dark.
Yes. And I have a feeling that's potentially how dark we're going to be getting with like, the Reeves universe or whatever you call it.
I'm here for it.
Because they were greenlit for a sequel, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, speaking of that, The brush up, baby.
Yeah, baby. Okay, so movie addicts stuck in the attic. Trying to
We're working out some shit here.
Should we talk about the hosts a little bit?
Sure.
We got Dale and Gabe. Gabe and Dale.
Dale. We want to talk about ourselves?
Briefly. Where'd you go to school? Where are you from?
My name is Colin Dale. Full name is Colin Charles Dale. That's how you can Google me.
All right.
I'm pretty Googleable. I just want to throw that out there.
Just saying. It's definitely on every social media platform you could think of.
No, and I'm not. That's the thing. I'm still Googleable, though, so maybe I should get an award for that. Most Googleable without social media.
Google.
At the Google Awards in 2050.
2050?
Yeah.
Do you think social media will even be around then anymore?
Damn.
Like, think about this. The internet is 20 years into the internet. 25 years.
Will social media
be
around?
It's only been around for 10 or 15 years.
I think there won't be as many people involved in it, entangled in it.
I think it'll still be around, but I think it'll be different. It's so
Gabe, that's a cop-out answer.
No, okay, so let me be specific. I think right now it's platform specific.
Sure.
I think social media will basically, whatever this fucking metaverse thing is, it'll be like signing online.
The metaverse freaks me the fuck out.
Signing online and going to the cafe in the same way that you and I will meet up at a diner, meet up at a parking lot, meet up at a this. I think people will literally clock in and just go to a place and show up. And there'll already be people there that they don't know. There'll be their own people that they plan. You see what I'm saying? Like right now,
yeah,
it's
I hear what you're saying, but
I'll talk to you on Instagram. I'll talk to you on Twitter. And there's like 4 bars that everybody can go to.
Jeez Louise.
I think in 2050 there's going to be...
The Google Awards, first of all, Google, give me a check for that idea.
Yeah.
Send it in the mail.
Sponsor us.
I was just about to give out our address. We shouldn't do that. Send me a check.
We're at Strange Place.
They actually know. Google knows where I live because the business is registered on Google.
So if you look up Daily...
So they know where. So send me the check then. Don't delay that.
Oh boy. Where are we getting at?
I'm from Massachusetts. I'm from a place called Hingham, Massachusetts. I went to Boston College High School, an all-boys high school.
Was your hair always long?
It's not always been this long. Has been this long since I was a child.
Does it make you more powerful?
Absolutely.
Are you arguably Alpha Dale? Because
yes. It's like Mega Sheen and Jimmy Neutron. I am.
Such a leg burst.
Dude, that show is gas.
Dude, it is. It's the best.
We should have a Jimmy Neutron episode of Movie Addicts.
Can we do that?
Dude, that movie...
That's what we're doing.
Because that movie was so good. Yeah, write that down.
I'm so glad we're on the same page about that.
Jamie, can you write that? No, but... Garcon, write that down.
Jimmy Neutron.
Dude, that movie blew my fucking mind.
Yeah. I think the comedy just works in that film. And
my brother and I...
It looks terrible.
Terrible.
The animation.
No, awful. Which is
water.
kind of why it's so electric. My brother and I rewatched a clip of that recently, and we were crying laughing. Which is so telling, though. I'm like, damn, this shit holds up.
Well, what's funny
like,
is
class! And then, like all the characters are so silly.
But
it's so... And they're almost... It's such a good show.
Can you look up Jimmy Neutron real quick? I want to know what year it came out.
Dude, that shit... Yeah,
because the fact that Toy Story came out in like what, 94, 95, and Jimmy Neutron is, I think it's like 2001, but it might be later.
So there was the movie first, to be clear.
Yeah. When did the movie come out?
Oh man, the movie blew my fucking mind. Dude, this is crazy. The movie came out 2001.
That's what I'm saying.
And I remember going to the theater to see it.
So, dude.
Wait, I remember that vividly.
You must have been 5 years old.
Yeah, but I remember that shit. You don't have to understand. I remember that shit so vividly.
Yeah.
I remember going with my parents, coming home and being like, I am a different kid. That movie was so kick-ass. That's crazy that I remember like 2001 super well.
So good.
Oh my, and they go to the park and the...
I'm going to check the camera real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so I'll make sure it's still running. We're good, man. We're 34 in. Yeah, baby.
We're kicking ass, man.
Kicking ass.
Yeah, Jimmy, we should absolutely do a Jimmy Neutron episode and rewatch the movie.
Animated
By the way, it's on HBO Max.
Oh.
The movie Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius is on HBO. Oh man,
Dude,
There's
that
the kids
sequence
of, what's that
too.
song? The
We're
Kids
the
of
kids in
America.
America. Oh, we're the kids
I remember being like, God bless America.
Oh yeah.
That's
It's not God bless America at all.
What?
That's it. That's hilarious.
I remember being a little kid and being like, God bless America. It made me a patriot. That movie.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant
Because
the lyrics.
no,
were,
that movie got me so hyped.
or something like that.
I just
It was.
I remember
sick
the
watching
theater
them
was
on,
packed. My parents brought me.
Remember the carnival rides?
My brother
The
must have been
riding
like
into space?
2 years old.
The
My
riding
brother was
into
probably
space,
3 years.
Carnival rides. No one's got oxygen strapped to their face at all. But it makes sense. Obviously, it was possible.
What do you mean? Wait, what?
Remember, they have to get to the ship
Yeah.
in order to stop the aliens.
Yes.
So Jimmy uses his big brain moves.
Yes.
And takes all the carnival rides.
Yes.
And engineers them to go.
He's a fucking boy genius.
Into space with rockets.
He's a boy genius.
I remember
Also,
that centipede, like the.
here's the thing
oh
that's
my
so
God.
funny about Jimmy Neutron. Everyone
I'm
else
like,
is a
hyped for
fucking
this.
moron.
Everybody, except Cindy.
It's not even like
Cindy
Jimmy
was
Neutron boy
supposed to be
genius.
smart.
It's like Jimmy Neutron's a boy genius because everyone else is a fucking moron. Yeah, he hangs out with a bunch of simpletons.
Yeah.
And so he looks like a genius. I think that's kind of what the show is about.
That's a good point.
What the movies, it's not about, it's about like where are they even, I don't even know where they live, like the Midwest or something?
Something like that.
No disrespect to the Midwest.
But
I'm
it
not
feels
saying,
like suburbs
but it
outside
feels,
of Chicago
yes,
or
that's what it is.
something like
To
that.
me, it's such I bet the creator of the show was like, a creator or the movie or whatever, I don't even know who it is. I bet
No idea.
he or she was like a super smart person in their town, in their hometown, and that's kind of where it came from. Where they were like a big fish in a small pond. Because it's such an American story of like you're the special kid in the small pond.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And everybody
maybe that's a
thinks you're
stretch.
a loser and a weirdo because you're so
Yes.
smart and you got your big hair.
Right.
But
They
then
try to
you
be mean
save
to you.
everybody at the beginning.
Yes.
Remember
Damn,
Nick,
that
the
show's
cool
good,
kid
bro.
with the lollipop?
Dude, and Carl,
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
Sheen,
Yep. Cindy.
Cindy.
I'm trying to think of her friend's name. Can't remember so many people.
Dude.
The friend, the teacher. Who else is in that?
Oh man, it was just we can get into that bag later.
Oh, got her the robot dog and the parents.
Yeah.
Jim,
Oh, the robot dog that he built.
that he built, right? Exactly.
He's a goddamn genius.
He is. Yes.
I remember being like, Jimmy Neutron is living the life.
He was.
And then the TV show was good.
That's right, because he had his clubhouse. Like, who could
Yes,
not be
bro.
on board?
I remember being like, dude, this guy.
His parents didn't question him at all. Just be home in bed on time, and he can go hang out in his clubhouse that he built 3 stories underneath.
That's because I think I connected a lot with the Jimmy Neutron character, personally.
Dude, you gotta wear that hair up like this.
My
It'd be
brother
Jimmy.
my brother a
Jimmy.
couple years ago tried to call me, he would always call me Jimmy Neutron because of my hair.
Do it.
Whatever, you fucking loser. Alright, so yeah, I'm Colin Dale. I went to USC. I'm finishing a grad program at the AFI right now.
My man.
Gabe, how did we meet though?
How did we meet? Wait, hold on. Let me say.
Say your shit first, and then we'll say how we met.
Dude, I feel like I've been itching and picking at my nose this whole time.
Huh.
I don't know if it's the
the
dust
heat.
or if it's just a me thing. But no, so grew up in Connecticut. Went to school in New York at Pace for acting for
Fuck yeah,
4
brother.
years.
Yo.
Yeah. I guess I was in New York long enough to be caretaker for this awesome elderly woman. Her name was Catherine. Shout out to Catherine.
Shout out to Catherine.
She was 98, passed in 2020.
Yep.
And then pandemic reset me home, and I decided after the pandemic started to reside to move out to Los Angeles.
Yes, sir.
Keep doing the acting thing.
Gabe's new to
Crack
LA.
my hand at the filmmaking thing with Mr.
Yes,
Dale.
sir. Yes, sir.
And yeah, so me and Dale met
on the set of
Shameless
our
plug.
movie,
yeah.
Magnolia Flowers, being distributed by 4x3 Productions.
Yeah,
Coming to streaming, ad-supported streamers mainly this summer.
that's it, baby.
Summer 2022.
Check it
Sun.
out.
And that's where Gabe and I met. So I cast Gabe in the movie, and then Gabe and I became great friends afterwards.
Word. Now we're roommates.
Now he lives in my house.
Call each other.
He
bitch all
sings
the time.
above. Yep.
Yes.
We address each other as bitch. which is we'll get to the big bitch pitch session later on. But
yes.
Yeah. So that's that.
So that's kind of who we are.
Yeah.
We'll keep telling you more details as the years or the days or however many podcasts.
Do you want to get to the brush up?
I think we should do the brush up. Yeah. Cool. So current events this week. Yeah. The brush up. So the brush up. We're gonna brush you bitches up on.
Yeah. Yeah. We are.
Went down, right?
What? Yeah.
Are we gonna get kicked off YouTube for using?
No. You can swear and stuff.
Are we? We don't have to come up with some silly.
No, you can swear. We just
stuff.
can't say that it's made for kids.
It's definitely.
Or else they'll kick us off. I always put with my videos, made for kids. Show it to kids under 10. Show it to 11-year-olds. Show it to whoever you want.
Done. So yeah, the brush up, current events in the industry.
I think there was one thing we wanted to talk about, which was Netflix.
Yeah, apparently in the last week.
Oh, they laid off a shitload of people too, by the way.
Yeah, in the last 2 weeks, really, because today is May 22nd.
Yeah.
In the last 2 weeks, apparently there was a reveal in the stock. Not the stock. What
there was like quarterly earnings.
Yeah, apparently, if I'm correct, because I don't have any of this on my phone and I'm not looking at a piece of paper right now, something to the effect that shareholders at Netflix were under the impression, thank you, that the company was growing in subscribers
Because of the pandemic.
When in reality they've been losing subscribers, and when those numbers came out, I guess in the most recently quarterly,
They lost 200,000 something.
And then the share dropped. What,
by the way,
30%?
me included. I realized recently.
I canceled Netflix recently too.
I didn't mean to cancel it.
I purposely.
It's because of the
canceled it 'cause I'm
scammers.
broke. It's $15 a month. Netflix. I joined you in like 2013 for $7.50 a month.
I think I was paying $10 a month.
I'm annoyed.
Are you direct addressing Netflix right now?
Dear Netflix,
Shooting shots? Dude, they're already hurting.
bro. I just want to say, man,
Don't do this
I
to 'em.
understand your shares dropped 30%.
No, like, wait, are you breaking up?
Netflix, I'll
Break up with Netflix right now. Well, you already broke up with them, but break up.
Netflix.
Like, they don't know that you broke
It's not
up.
you.
It is. You're saying it is, though.
It's me.
Here's what I'm going to say, Netflix. Give me a 5-picture deal. No, I don't know what Gabe's talking about. Netflix, we don't have to cast him, and then 5 movies we'll make contractually.
Dale, how much are you paying for Netflix right now?
$0, 0 cents. I was paying $10 a month.
Okay.
Hold on, Netflix. If you're watching this, give me a 5-picture deal. We don't have to cast Gabe.
Are you kidding me?
You don't have to
now?
cast him. Well, because you're being dicks to them.
I didn't say I was being a dick.
No, I'm kidding.
I
I'm
didn't
kidding.
say a single thing that was untruthful.
No, you were being truthful.
All I said is I'm broke, so if you hire me in one of your movies,
yes, then I'll pay for it.
then I will not only pay for Netflix.
Then I'll pay. That would be really funny.
I will donate. If you put me in one of your movies, I will donate 10,000 subscriptions.
Here's the thing I want to say, and we will cast Gabe in our 5 contractual movies.
10,000
What?
times $15.
Sure.
Is how much money?
$150,000.
There you go. I will. I guess I will do that if you put me in a picture. I'll have to be paid.
Here's the thing, Netflix. If you want to get subscribers back, I'm gonna really say something. This is how I really feel.
Please don't say ad supported is the way to go.
I think that's interesting, and we should get to that. And we should get to that as it pertains. No, Gabe. We should. I'm serious because that should have my gears turning. I was like sitting in the coffee shop reading the Hollywood Reporter. Turning, not grinding. Because it's you know what though, it's related to like magnolia flowers even. It had me thinking. I'm not saying that's not what I was gonna say. They need to make better fucking movies.
Really?
Their movies are fucking garbage.
Shows?
People across the board, no one has ever. The only
Careful.
movie that they've what?
Careful.
What? What do you mean?
I think they had some good stuff.
The Irishman, gas.
I actually haven't seen The Irishman.
Irishman's incredible. That's because it's
I gotta look
Scorsese.
this up now.
But
Netflix movies.
Netflix has a ton of movies that fucking suck. And Netflix, if you give me the 5-picture deal contractually, I will literally make you 5 heaters. I have them already written. Well, put Gabe in.
He does have them written already.
I do have them written. But I'm saying, like, I seriously think Netflix needs to work a little harder to, like, scout some, like... I'm telling you, the talent density in our generation of filmmakers is pretty fucking... It's pretty thick.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're not the opportunity they're missing right now. I think this is a very legitimate point I'm bringing up. Dude, Netflix could be like the Roger Corman of our day, because Roger Corman like started the careers of
Tell us who Roger Corman is, because
Roger Corman was a producer in like the 70s, 80s, B-movie producer. He started the careers of Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, Brian De Palma, fucking a ton of filmmakers that people wouldn't even know broadly. But he launched tons of careers. And I'm not saying Martin Scorsese didn't make films with this dude forever, but Roger Corman was someone who was willing to bankroll younger talent. Because he knew that he would just bankroll some lower budget movies and make a shitload of money on the back end.
Yeah.
And Netflix could be that, and I think they're fucking up. Because if they want to do
pay model's different though.
What do you mean?
I
think we should get to the ad-supported things.
I still don't understand how Netflix makes money. Like Roger Corman, bankroll a film for $250,000.
Because he would put things out theatrically.
And he would just, I guess, market the shit
No, it's
out
different.
Of it, to all the correct theaters, or supposedly whatever market research they did at the time, if that was even a thing. You know, but he would make money.
I'm fine with ad-supported.
Ticket sales.
I'm fine with ad-supported. So the answer to your earlier question of like ad-supported, yeah, first of all, by the way, it's not a debate. They're going to do ad-supported.
Here's a question.
But you know what? I think that's interesting, though, because that flattens the landscape. Anyway, it got me excited. That possibility got me excited because of our movie being on ad-supported streamers.
Yeah.
Because I'm like...
Netflix.
You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying?
No.
It flattens the landscape a little bit, just to me, and I don't know. I kind of like that.
So you think anything that's ad-supported will allow lower-tiered or newer, more
I think people will be
risky
willing to take...
ventures?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think these companies will be willing to take some more risks.
I mean, I guess when they have money from advertisers, they can. Because they have more cash flow. They're not just depending on subscriptions. Yeah.
Dude, you got to think about the haul that, like... Dude, CBS hauls in, like, billions of dollars every year.
From ads.
Yeah.
And they don't have well, now they have CBS. What is CBS part of?
They have some sort of, yeah. It doesn't matter, though. They still... You think, like...
I don't think
even
they
though,
do.
What?
The closest thing would be NBC's Peacock, but...
Oh, they don't
Peacock
have, like,
and CBS are not...
Yeah.
And I don't think Paramount Plus is part of CBS. But I really don't know. I know nothing about the studio structure.
But there's a reason why these networks... You know, people think networks are irrelevant or something. They're not. They still make fucking a big haul every year financially.
Yeah.
And...
They're sitting on a pile of money.
I just think it's interesting. Like, it's interesting. I think ad-supported, to me, is actually potentially exciting.
Okay.
For us. Like, for people like you and me. I don't know.
Right.
Perhaps I'm wrong.
I mean, from a business standpoint, I think.
Like, why do you? Are you thinking from a consumer standpoint
Strictly consumer standpoint.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck.
I hate watching a show.
It is annoying.
And the ad pops up. Like, at the very least...
You're always going to be able to pay more to have it not pop up.
Hang tight.
All right.
And I might be completely wrong about this. I feel like if I'll catch a show on Hulu, they'll throw ads in wherever they want.
They absolutely... It's
Whereas there was a time during network TV where the show was written in a way that the ads would come in at certain points.
That shit is fucked up.
And that at least helped with the flow of the show. Oh no!
That's why TV shows are split into acts.
Yeah, and it helps.
Some people still write shows that way,
it's
but yeah.
Great. Sometimes, yes. But sometimes, like, I'll be watching something on Hulu with you, and I'm just like, now...
Yeah, we'll be watching It's Always Sunny. And
now, this is when we're gonna... I'm like, come on,
you're
killing the flow of the show. And not only that, the ads suck. If I'm gonna be a modern consumer and I'm gonna be consuming ads, find a way to have better ads, like your Hulu. Your commercials for Hulu are better than the ads that are on your platform. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on. I don't know. But I'm just very critical because if you're gonna waste my time, so to speak, or if you're going to sell someone's product, make it fun. There was a time when commercials were like funny all the time. I don't think they're funny anymore, unless you're like an independent product,
Commercials.
like
It's
Sasquatch,
interesting, like that.
or Sasquatch soap, or pillow, whatever.
I think,
you know.
yeah, that is interesting. Like commercials, I think now are like they're almost desperate. Like they're desperately. It feels like the aim of so many commercials is to desperately patronize you, like desperately appease you, like desperately virtue signal to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what commercials, a lot of commercials feel like now.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, we're aware of how hard your life is. It's like, one, no, you're not. You never will be.
Right.
Like, you don't have to be. I almost think it's interesting. Yeah, like, it feels like some commercials are just like so virtue signally to the extent that it's just like sort of offensive. It's like, what? It's like, just, do you want me to buy your soap or not? Like, figure out a way to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not.
Well, I think also being, what are we now? We're like 70 years into selling product on television. They started doing commercials probably
That's
in
pretty
the
wild.
50s or 60s, right?
Probably the 50s.
And
I mean, radio
like every
ads.
Dove commercial you see, I've seen this ad for my entire life. For 28 years of my life, I have seen this ad. What I'm saying is it's getting old. You can't be more creative,
No, it is wild.
you know?
Anyway, shifting away from that.
Well,
Sorry.
to brush up, it's streaming, ad revenue.
Yeah, I thought this. Yeah,
Netflix is struggling supposedly, but I'm sure they'll find a way to bounce back.
and they're gonna go ad supported.
You know what's interesting about the Netflix conversation? Let's not go down this rabbit hole too quickly, but we are currently at a shift with startup companies. There was a time between, we'll say, like 2005 and 2015-ish, if I'm correct, where VCs and other people looking to raise money and get in on the newest tech unicorn, Uber, Facebook, Grubhub, whatever, they would dump money into these companies regardless of if they're profitable. And Netflix was the mid-2000s answer to Blockbuster era.
Yeah.
And so they pumped money into Netflix, never necessarily having a profit. And now as these other companies are like slowing down, Facebook is getting restrictions from ads because of iPhone security. We're seeing the problems that happen with cults of personalities when it comes to freaking Twitter and Uber. And now we're seeing with Netflix what happens when like you've market capped. You have saturated the subscriptions. You're still not turning a profit. What now?
Yeah.
You know?
What now?
What now?
Ads.
Well, the scary thing is it's not just what now ads. I'm gonna kill you. It's not just that.
Ads,
it's other companies show up.
Yeah.
Disney Plus has popped up in the last 3 years.
Listen, if any of them want to take Magnolia Flowers,
I thought Paramount Plus was a joke.
there you go.
They're not going away. They have a new comedy coming.
Paramount Plus is kind of. By the way, I thought it was super interesting. Go on.
I was just gonna say they have a new comedy coming out.
Dude,
with Bryan Cranston.
They also bought the Halo show.
The Halo show's trash.
No, hold on. The Halo show used to be at Showtime. Like when I was an intern at Showtime.
Yeah, you did say that.
It was there. Like they were making it. They were like in pre-pro on the Halo
I think Paramount
show.
ruined it though.
So Paramount must have bought it. I don't know when, but they did. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. But I know Paramount Plus though has Yellowstone and the
That's true.
prequel.
Yellowstone's been kicking ass apparently.
You kind
They
of
have 1888 or whatever.
63, I think. Nah, it's not 63.
It's something.
Anyway, but I first of all have never seen Yellowstone, nor have I seen the other one. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Anything else on the brush up? Anything?
No, I think the Netflix thing's super interesting, and it's relevant. It's I think it's quite literally relevant to like you and me. That's just. But anyway.
Yeah, young filmmakers trying it.
I think ad support is cool. I don't necessarily think about it from a consumer standpoint, or try not to.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I want to get paid for my labor.
Yeah. And that's another way that you're less for risk.
Yes. I think that's interesting if companies will take more risks because there's ad support. I think that's interesting. What?
Cash flush.
They're like,
If they know that they have...
That show could be a piece of shit, but...
Yeah, that's a good point, though, because I don't know how advertising budgets work. Let's just assume they go quarterly, right? They make contracts, they're set in stone for the next 3 months.
They run quarterly, you mean?
Yes.
Sure.
I'm assuming it's longer than that, because, like, why not? If somebody wants to make a longer contract and guarantee it longer, cool. But let's just say it's quarterly, it's every 3 months.
Cool.
Well, Netflix knows that, like, they're guaranteed $500 million for the next 3 months.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Anyway,
so
to brush up,
interesting
shit.
Brushing up on all current events in the industry, anything in our personal lives.
No, I think the only thing I can think of in our personal lives is magnolia flowers. Oh my god. Let's not talk about that.
No, we're not going to talk about that.
We have a roommate. We're trying to fill a slot in the house.
Looking for young filmmakers. Tell us
it's
in
an
the
absolute,
comments.
It's an absolute nightmare, and I'm not even contributing enough for it to be a full nightmare for me. So
yeah, they'll screw you.
Whatever, dude.
Queen Mother Eva is taking care of it.
Yeah, Eva is on top of it.
All right, so now we got the dust up. By the way, we're also 56 into
I knew this was going to happen, but
we haven't even gotten to...
Our banter up top killed us. I loved the banter up top.
It was
fun for me.
It's fun. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. The dust up. Gabe and Dale decide if the week's movies was a cock up.
Wait, explain this. Cock up means it sucked.
Utter failure. We hate it.
Cock up.
You can tell us in the comments if it's a cock up or a lock up, where you just lock that baby tight.
And what movie are we talking about this week?
Park,
No, because that's the second. We'll do that after.
Okay.
Because that's part of like the secondary.
Yes, yeah. So
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Dale and I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Together.
Together.
Wait, did you see it again though?
I saw it a second time.
I did not see
Released 2022 by the Daniels.
Yeah. By A24, the Daniels directed it.
Yes. That's so funny to say by A24.
What do you mean?
They didn't write the script. They
I know. They're
by the
bankrolling it.
Daniels.
What?
They didn't just direct it. They wrote that shit.
What I was saying was purely semantic.
No, it's totally cool, man. When you come out with the Colin Charles Dale film and someone says it's by A24.
I'll have to, released by Paramount. I'll be like, yeah, great.
And Netflix, the 5-picture deal.
Released by Warner Brothers.
Exactly.
Warner Brothers.
Shout out.
2-picture deal.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. What do you think, Dale? Cock up or lock up?
I think it was a lockup.
Yeah?
Yeah, you didn't think I was going to say cock up, right?
I had a feeling you might.
Okay,
have
so I changed my mind.
Okay.
I had a dinner with my professor from AFI and my classmates, my peers.
Without me, by the way. Dale.
Without Gabe was not invited, despite the fact that
a piece of shit.
he wasn't invited.
Bitch.
Bitch. And I was talking with them. I cried in that movie.
Did
I
you?
cried. Yeah, I cried at the scene with toward the end where they the mother and daughter kind of final conversation.
I thought you just
it made me cry.
And you were like, whoa.
No, it made me cry.
Yeah.
Because I felt for the daughter. The mother character it felt like a conversation that I have had with my own mother.
Yeah.
And it made me very emotional. The character, the lead character reminded me of my own mother, and I sort of connected with the daughter character.
Yeah.
So for that reason, it's absolutely a lockup for me.
The fact that you can...
Because I emotionally connected with a big aspect of it.
Hell yeah.
It was just so overwhelming. First of all, I've said to you, because we've watched other Daniels stuff, their craft is crazy. Mm. They have crazy skill, craft.
They have a voice.
Which is dope, right? I'm not... For some reason, the craft, the style and the craft it doesn't seem to be, fully my bag. It seems to be... There's something about it I don't get. That doesn't take away any legitimacy from it. It's just there's an aspect to the zaniness that I don't Doesn't feel like it's for me.
Okay.
And there was so much going on in the movie. There was so much like happening visually that I was almost like too overwhelmed. And that threw me off on the first watch. I think on a second watch, I mean, I already think it's a lockup. But on the second watch, I think I will wrap my head around it much more.
Yeah.
I think the first time I was like, I don't know. I felt disconnected. I felt really connected to like the central relationship in the movie. I felt disconnected from the tone, if that makes sense.
It does.
All right. What about you? You fucking love the movie.
Well, first time I saw it, I really didn't know what to make of it. And
You dug it though.
I dug it because I like the Daniels, like Swiss Army Man. I was
Gabe
going through
loves Swiss Army
a
Man.
terrible breakup. One of my first actual depressions. I've had. You hear the buzzword, I have depression or anxiety. Depression and anxiety is such a buzzword in our culture these days. I grew up realizing that I never really understood depression because there are people who chemically experience it. There are people who just have psychological circumstances, et cetera, et cetera. I was experiencing my first circumstantial depression. And whatever you want to call happened during Swiss Army Man, between the score and the story, it resonated with me, and it gave me a place to have permission to feel how I was feeling. Like the whole concept. When I read that the Daniels in an interview described Swiss Army Man as a story about a dead man. A story about a suicidal man teaching a dead man the reason to live. It just kind of locked me in. I was oh my goodness.
It's a good way to frame it.
If I'm the suicidal man, which admittedly I wasn't suicidal, but if there was a part of me that was feeling very broken and there was another aspect of myself, the other man, that I was trying to save, that movie helped me to identify that conundrum and connect with that struggle of bringing myself back, taking responsibility for myself, reconnecting with who I am, and being okay with that simplicity. I thought that film was so beautiful. So I walk into the Daniels already loving past shit and being open to it. And then when I watch the film, it just, to Dale's credit, the tone was very, I feel informed by their. It's funny, I wouldn't call Swiss Army Man zany. It's weird.
It for sure is.
But different. You're not walking around with dildos and confetti. You know what I'm saying?
But there's the farting thing.
Yeah, but this is splitting hairs, But when I think zany, I really do think.
You fucking asshole. Gabe and I sometimes throttle each other over. Do you want to check? No, go on.
You want to double check?
The camera.
Yeah, go check. Do you think there'll be a concern with the frame rate when matching up the sound? Do you think after an hour and a half, it's still rolling?
Yeah.
Do you want to stop or do you want to keep it going?
Let's keep going.
Okay, cool.
I can't tell if I want this in the back or what, dude.
I don't know. So anyway, when we get to fast forward to the Daniels with Everything Everywhere All at Once, I watch it, and at the end of the film, I was kind of disappointed.
What? You were?
I was struggling.
I don't remember it this way.
I was struggling to connect with it because I was you guys clearly told an important story, and every time I spoke with people about how's the film, I was if you like the Daniels, you'll like it. It's ultimately about this mother-daughter relationship, and I just powerful ending, but all the in-between shit, I'm just did we need all of those layers of texture and this and that and the third? And it just felt like a lot of extra for the sake of being extra. And then I saw the film a second time.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness. There was just some point in the film where it spoke to me, even if not as equally deeply as Swiss Army Man. The first time I saw the film, I think I was so wrapped up in the mother-daughter relationship that the second time I got to take it all in.
Yeah.
And the everything, everywhere, all at once, there was two things that resonated with me. Well, a few things, but we'll chat about these two things that I'm just spontaneously coming up with during this free thought, whatever you want to call it, free association. One, it's not about just the mother and daughter.
Okay.
It's about the whole family.
Okay.
You know? And the daughter's kind of the center of it, so to speak, but all of the relationships matter. The mother to the grandfather.
Yeah.
Obviously the mother to the daughter. The marriage between the husband and the wife.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
all of those things are all contributing. And a lot of it, I think, for me, point number 2, is that it's all grounded in this, like, terrible malaise we're experiencing in culture right now, where just nothing anywhere at all ever matters. You know? Because there's always another perspective, there's always someone else's truth, there's always just like another institution to be cynical about. Like, you just can't trust anything anymore. And the daughter, so-called Jojo Tabaki, if I'm correct, I took away in the film that she was just like going around the universe blowing shit up because she was a nihilist. And then when I watched it again, I don't know how I missed this. But she literally says, I'm not going around trying to kill everybody. I'm trying to get you to pay attention to me. I need you to hear the pain that's happening to me. And that further like reinforced by the everything bagel, and the way they discuss like how everything goes on the bagel. Made me feel like everything in our lives is just affected by this, whatever poisonous thing is moving through our culture right now, that is like taking away self-confidence and joy and constantly making us question everything. Like, whatever you want to call that, that's turning everything, that's putting everything on the everything bagel, and it's sucking the life out of like so many things. And it just resonated with me on such a deep level.
I like that.
On such a deep existential level.
Okay, I don't think I got that from my first viewing, which is why I need.
That's why the second viewing helped so much.
Yeah.
I watched it, and there came a point in the film where the tears were just coming down my cheeks when I watched the husband just beg desperately to the wife, like, "Why are you doing this right now?" You know, as she stabs him in the ribs. You know, why are you stabbing me in the ribs while the other mother? It's not Coraline, but the other, I forget her name. She's trying to go up the stairs, and she's literally fighting all the minions of Jojo Tabaki to get to her daughter. Like, it's crazy that in one universe she's completely giving up and killing her husband, and in the other universe she's fighting through all these minions to get to her daughter. But the point is, like, you know what it felt like? It felt like some kind of like, I know I'm just like rambling, but I'm trying to find the words. It felt like some kind of beautiful like marriage of Sisyphus and Atlas. Not only the willingness to push the rock up to the top of the mountain, knowing it'll fall over the edge, but while doing that, bearing the entire weight of existence on your shoulders, knowing that whether or not it's worth it is regardless of the point. The fact is, we are alive, we are here, and we need to choose kindness and love. Otherwise,
I get it.
What's the alternative?
Right.
We just try to kill ourselves and like give up on one another? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. That shit,
That's heavy, yeah.
Dude, it was beautiful though. And while he could do it with confetti and dildos, it's like kind of hilarious and, you know, kind of unnecessary, you might say, stupid, but like Ratatouille with
that shit was super funny. I was saying, like, not all the jokes, like they hammered home a few jokes like over and over and over.
But what do you think about like I don't know, I felt those, like, was there any semblance of that to you?
What do you mean?
the crazy emotional depth that it was like just burrowing into.
I think it.
Or is that just where my heart goes because I feel everything?
No, I think that. I'm just thinking. I think I did get some of what you're talking about. I think to some extent, like I feel like I live in that existential place already, sort of. And so it's hard. What was the thing I said to you about Swiss Army Man? It was something. There's one distinct thing that I said.
Not your cup of tea?
No.
Was it a moment you were describing?
No, it was something about like the whole film. It was about symbolism.
Oh, you were telling me.
It was like they have
metaphors.
symbolism for their symbolism.
Yes.
It's like a symbolism cake.
Yeah. I tell
and
people
I'm good without that.
Right.
Because I already don't take things literally. This is what I said.
Yes, I remember.
I already don't take things literally. I don't watch a movie and take it literally. I find it funny nowadays. I think this is because I was raised in the early 2000s.
Okay.
Where shit wasn't literal. If someone made a song about killing their mom, Eminem, you didn't take it literally.
Right.
Nowadays, I feel like for example, Kanye West made the music video about, I hate to get into this. Kanye West made the music video about where he kills Pete, like a claymation Pete Davidson in the music video. And people were like, that's disturbing. I'm like, dog, if this were 2004, people would be like, that's the best music video I've ever seen.
Right, yeah.
It's not disturbing, first of all. It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Right, it's not a voodoo doll. It's a film.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just feel like I came of age in like a little bit of a different, and I'm not like, I wonder if like, I'm not, like, you came up into the same age, so I'm not trying to alienate your view.
I mean, it's fine. I'm happy to.
But for some reason, I think as a result, I don't take things super literally.
Okay.
Because of a specific cultural context I was like, came up in. And as a result, I don't need you to be so symbolism heavy, symbolism forward. Like, I'm good. And so that's what Swiss Army Man felt like. That's what this felt like.
I'm going to coin this phrase straight now for the record. I've been using it. I think it's straight up cinematic poetry. I cannot, I don't know how else to describe it, you know?
No, it is.
But I appreciate what you're
saying.
I think
it is that.
I appreciate the layers on the layers, because like, it can, if you come into it already ready to have like, to be analyzing it while you're watching it, but also like,
yeah,
but like enjoy the waves of just like plot and character. Well, the additional layers and layers and layers and layers and layers get in the way of that.
I guess those aren't the movies I like.
But
like, I was looking at my top 10 list, but
what
today,
else is like that? I don't know anything. I don't even know anything other than like. And I hate to be like judgmental.
That's what I'm saying is I think that's why it's so unique. It's like they're making this symbolism cake.
Yeah,
and that's why it feels so fresh and unique. I think it is fresh and unique.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool, and like it just doesn't feel like it's totally my bag. It feels like even if I see it a second time and I'm getting all that stuff and I'm really absorbing it like you seemed to.
Yeah.
There's gonna be something there's gonna be something where I'm one step removed.
Yeah.
That's just, I don't know what it is.
No, I get it.
With their stuff, I just already don't take things literally. And I'm making a YouTube video about like my top 10 films of all time, but just like my top 10.
Yeah.
My YouTube channel.
What's your YouTube channel?
The Strange Place Productions YouTube channel.
Great.
But I was looking at all those movies, and I was like, there's none on there that are super. It's so funny because even I love Francis Coppola in his movies,
Okay.
but all of his work is super. It's definitely symbolism. It's symbolism forward. Like the Godfather movies are very like rich in like symbolism and all, and I love those movies, but for some reason they don't make my top 10, which is interesting. Like Apocalypse Now, even like Apocalypse Now is more of it's not a movie about the Vietnam War. It's more of like an interpretation of the Vietnam War. That's very like, and I love that fucking movie, but it doesn't make my like favorite shit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Where I just like movies where I'm almost left to reach for my own, some of my own meaning.
So what's one of your top favorite films?
Goodfellas, for sure.
Okay.
I don't know, what are you supposed to make of Goodfellas? I don't really know.
This is one of those films Gabe still needs to see.
Yeah, oh shit.
Yeah.
But
I can understand.
I don't know
where
what you're
it's pretty
supposed to make of it.
straightforward.
And I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Because I know that like throughout my life, I'll keep watching it and I'll get something different every time. And I'm not saying you wouldn't get something different every time from Everything Everywhere, but the symbolism cake feels a little bit to me like you're feeding me the platter creatively that you want to feed me.
Oh,
Which is cool. That's fine. Because that's what The Godfather fucking does. The Godfather really means like a thing. It really means like kind of one set. There's one set that kind of literary. I'm not saying there are like you can interpret. There's kind of one set literary like interpretation of those two movies.
Okay.
Forget about the third one. It's no one's ever seen it. We don't. You know what I mean? But I like movies where I'm like, what? And I, like Place Beyond the Pines is like that for me, where I'm like, dude, what? Wait. Like I'm pulling my own. I watch movies and I tell myself my own story too. Do you get what I'm saying? That's just how I watch. That's how I watch stuff.
The only thing, not the only thing, one thing I am trying to gather from what you're expressing is a film that is thematically driven.
Yes.
Is not as interesting to you as one that is strictly plot and character driven.
Character over plot, but yeah.
Interpretation up to you. Which is interesting because for me, watching a thematically driven film such as Everything Everywhere All at Once,
that feels enriching to you.
I feel like I have different interpretations to it,
Yeah.
But that might just be the way, like, because we'll have conversations about films and I get excited about themes. I get excited about devices.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I do get excited about characters and I see characters, but the first thing you always talk about to me about a film is typically a character.
Yeah.
Your way into films as a screenwriter, from what I perceive, is the character.
Yeah, 1000%.
For me, it can be character.
Yeah.
But I feel like oftentimes it'll be like a plot point, a set piece, a world, a theme.
Because that's why Everything Everywhere All at Once, there's an extent to which those characters are stock characters.
Yeah, it's just a mom, it's just a dad.
Exactly. And that shit to me I'll always be one step removed from, no matter how good the movie is. Yeah. And again, I think it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I'll always be one step removed. I can't have the characters feeling like stock. They have to feel like even if they're completely fictional, completely made up. I'm like the characters have to feel to me like, no, that's a straight up a real person that you put into this movie.
I feel
that's
like
where
what I liked about the simplicity of them. Same with Swiss Army Man, is
Swiss Army Man didn't feel that way to me, for the record.
I think Paul Dano's character did. Paul Dano.
Oh, interesting.
He was a pretty normal guy who was embarrassed about his farts.
So maybe the same thing applies.
Up until the moment that you find out that, like, is he hanging out with the... Spoiler alert? Do we care about... I don't know.
That's fine.
Is he hanging out with a dead guy? Is this actually happening? Does he have a terrible relationship with his father? Or are they close? Or what's going on? It's like... I think Paul Dano's character is pretty. It leaves room for me to feel like I'm experiencing it, and I kind of like that. You know, like don't get me wrong. As an actor, I want some fucking juicy dialogue and personality to play with, but that's the kind of film where like I would be so excited to just lend Gabe as a human.
Yeah.
To the weight, I don't even know what you'd say, Atlasian, Sisyphean, like,
Sisyphean, but I don't know the other.
But like the weight of that responsibility bundled in the simplicity of it's just Gabe.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But so cock up or lock up.
It was a lockup.
It was a lockup.
It's a good movie, dude. Like I'm not hating on the movie. Swiss Army Man, to be clear, I didn't like, so that was a cock up. But but
It was not a cock up at all.
you love that movie. I
love
get
it,
it though.
though.
You don't like Place Beyond the Pines.
Oh no.
But we don't have to go there. We don't have to go there. What?
I should probably watch Place Beyond the Pines again.
Dude, it's one of the like.
From what I remember, it was a total cock up. Total cock up.
That movie fucks me up, man.
Yeah, in a terrible way. It's trash.
It's a great
One of the worst films you'll ever see.
film.
Don't watch it.
It just hits me. It hits me really hard. To me, the things that hit hardest in movies, I've realized, is it really is its character things.
You can't get invested in those characters.
Oh, I totally disagree. I was literally on my
I'm
YouTube
just trying
channel.
to push all his buttons.
I was talking about how Ryan Gosling's on screen for like maybe 45 minutes.
I hate
before
that.
he dies, which is
I'm
crazy.
so excited about it.
But that should change my life, though. Change the way I saw like the movie. I was just like, wait, the main character just fucking died?
Enraged me.
Oh, dude, I was like, this is the most insane thing
I
I've ever
rejected the
seen.
film. I was like, well, who do I care about?
See, that's what I'm saying. But this is what I said in my fucking YouTube video. I shouldn't keep referencing it, but
It's fine, Joe. We don't have to do our own podcast if you don't want.
Dude, the entire time just plugging my own shit. But I said I think that's why it's alienating. I think that's why I recommend it to people.
Yeah.
50% go, wow, that was really cool. The other 50% are like, what the fuck was that? And I think the reason it's so divisive is because of that. Yeah. It's because they kill the main character in the first 45 minutes. Sorry if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, but you know, okay, I'm gonna go a step further. It's not just that they killed the main character; it's that the way in which they tied the first act to the second act doesn't feel as clean as I would like it to be. Or rather, it's too clean. It's a clean break. What I want is maybe in the second act, what's the actress's name? Eva Mendes, she carries the torch. Maybe in the first act, it's more Bradley Cooper.
That wouldn't.
Of course it wouldn't, because that's not how the film works right now. But
it is crazy that Bradley Cooper just pops in, and then you're like, oh shit, now we're doing his story.
That's what I'm saying. Like, literally, Ryan Gosling dies, and that world dies. It's not just him dying. You know?
You're right.
And that...
But by the way, thematically, that makes sense, because it's like, that's kind of what happened. Like, this shit fucked their lives up. Is like, this police officer killing this guy, fucked up her life, it fucked up his son's life.
You know what's funny? You saying thematically, that's why, that gives me buy-in. Because thinking that the filmmaker is using...
Because you love that theme shit.
I like that they're intentionally telling the story.
Yeah, dude, and that's what he's doing. Derek St. Francis is not making mistakes. Go on.
Yeah, but he could be sloppy.
Nah, bro, I don't think he is. Nah. That motherfucker is meticulous. And I think he's such an artist. Yeah, I think he writes like crazy number of drafts for his films.
Yeah.
And I can see why.
Are we doing on time?
We're 1:25.
You gotta go to Betty Boo Boo soon?
I mean, yeah, I do. Motherfucker.
Dale's got a clean bedtime, you know.
9:50 p.m. right now.
No, it's not. There's no way it's 9:50 right now.
No, sorry, it's... So we started at 9:50.
Yeah. So you need
So it must be like 11. Oh, it's 11:50.
11:50.
15.
All right, so what time do you have to get up?
It's fine. I'm just gonna get up at 8, but
Don't fall asleep in my ass.
No, I'm not.
Garçon.
We're gonna skip. By the way, we're gonna skip the second part.
What's the second part?
Like,
Jurassic
we're not
Park?
gonna talk about Jurassic
We'll
Park
talk about
yet,
Jurassic Park.
because that's just getting me too fired up. I want to be able to sleep.
All right.
Are we good on everything everywhere?
Yeah, I feel good.
I would love to hear
You guys feel good.
I would love to hear what people think, whether it's a cock up or a
Put
goddamn
in the
mock-up.
comments whether you think Everything Everywhere. I like saying the full title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, but some people only like to say Everything Everywhere. If you think
It's a pretty easy title to say.
everywhere I see it online, they just say Everything Everywhere.
That's annoying.
It is annoying.
Come on, Charles. Do your due diligence.
Put in the comments. Is it a cock up or lock up? All right, so the dust up we're gonna hold off on. No, we just did a little bit of dust up. The mock up, the big bitch pitch sesh.
The mock-up, a.k.a. the big bitch pitch
So
session.
this is a monster podcast if we hit all of these sections.
Yeah, I know.
You know, which I'm not mad about. Yeah, honestly, this conversation is very stimulating. Like to do one of these.
I
once
dig
a
it. I
week
totally dig it, dude.
Is like keeping my brain.
Oh, I love it.
fired,
I
you
love
know?
it. Listen, motherfucker, this is what I told you. I said it's going to be a long podcast.
It's a great way to just like get it all out after the week. you know?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Okay.
Should we always record on Sundays, you think?
I kind of like it. I have
Yeah, I
Sunday
dig
off
it.
right now.
Cool. All right.
Obviously, we'll have to
I
change
like
it.
that we're letting people into the process. You know what I mean? They're really seeing something being birthed right now.
Yeah, man. Okay, so
The mock-up,
the mock-up,
a.k.a. the big bitch pitch session.
big bitch.
What are you bringing in right now? What are you pitching right now?
I can go to my.
Oh, you gotta go?
Yeah.
You want
know
to
what?
pitch?
No, we're gonna make this spontaneous. So I keep and Dale. Has
I know what I'm
something-
pitching.
Dale has something similar too.
So the big bitch pitch session is when Gabe and I each pitch a project that's like in our notes, that's in our like archives that we haven't.
Damn.
It has to be something that we haven't written yet. Because I could pitch
offline.
something that I've written. What?
I'm offline.
What do you mean?
It's just offline. It's fine. I got some.
You're
ideas.
still recording though, right?
I'm recording because the memo doesn't require internet. But me looking
Oh.
at it's not a big deal.
All right.
I got one idea, which I think I've told you about.
You want to go for it?
Yeah.
Go on, pitch it. Send it to me.
I'm also a huge fan of titles. Dale loves titles.
I always come up with titles super fast.
So this is a super duper simple film. This is now I'm torn.
Wait, what? You're gonna do something else?
I got all these ideas, but like, do I want to do one that's like super duper thematically driven, metaphorical, like
Give me something that's up my alley.
up your alley.
So the alternative, whatever's not.
Okay. What?
Or you don't have to. You don't have to.
Well,
But
I was thinking.
I am the executive that you're pitching to right now, but
I am pitching to the executive. I'm gonna put this out there because it's one on top of my head. It's a very easy pitch. It's a simple concept. All right. Feel good movie.
okay.
Within the first half hour, there's the inciting incident. Not even probably like 20 minutes. The inciting incident. Okay.
Okay.
Long story short, you got a little kid
Okay.
obsessed with Spider-Man. Is the film made
Okay.
by Sony? I don't know.
They own that. Yeah. That probably would have to be.
Maybe.
Thanks for coming in.
wait, Netflix.
Netflix.
So obsessed with Spider-Man.
There's gonna have to be some finagling
That's fine.
with the contracts and.
Is this my
on the
pitch or is
business
this your
side.
pitch?
Yeah. Sorry. I'm taking it in.
Appreciate it. So obsessed with Spider-Man, and he's a pretty normal kid. Goes to school,
Okay.
comes home, mom, dad, la di da.
Okay. He has a mom. He has a dad.
And long story short, one day he gets bit by a spider.
Okay.
And in my mind, he becomes like a fucking paraplegic from being bit by the spider.
Oh, jeez, Louise. That's devastating. Okay, cool. This is fucked.
And in my mind, the film would be called
Oh, jeez, Louise.
Being Spider-Man or Becoming Spider-Man. And this child would go through this unexpected tragedy and find a way to come out on top and be and would be able to like be an example for the community. Like everybody loves this little boy. He's crushing it at the baseball games. He's, helps everybody out in class, stays after class to help the teacher, gets bit, super excited, gets sweaty. You almost think you're gonna have like the Tobey Maguire scene where he gets stronger. And then he's at the hospital too many days. And now they're talking about amputations. Is he gonna get past this? And next thing you know, he comes home and he's just, I don't know what it is, but something is physically wrong and altered forever. We do not go back. There is not a cure. And the idea that like the community rallies around him, but even more like he chooses to wake up and be an inspiration to his parents. That's where I get excited about the idea of it's not a superhero film.
It's a super kid film.
It's not a superhero. Fuck you,
It's not worst executive ever.
It's not.
I see. It's a super kid film.
Right. Yeah.
Here's $10 million.
It's not a superhero film where you're changed externally, and everybody loves you for your powers. Well, you are changed, but not for the better. You're not Captain America. You didn't get roided up on super soldier serum, you know?
Captain America just juiced. And then he
absolutely juiced.
Captain America just did steroids.
The whole time.
It's kind of fucked.
So, but I don't know. There's something there that intrigues me.
Okay.
You know?
I think that's interesting. I think
these films have been done before. I think there's one that came out in the last 5 years.
I think there was a documentary about a kid. No, it was the Batman one.
Yeah.
There was a kid who like people would like. He was like dying. It was kind of grim, but dying of cancer, like young kid.
Yeah.
And like his whole hometown like pretended, like he dressed up as Batman, and they were like did all this stuff for him to like help make him feel like he was Batman.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was one of these tearjerker documentaries. So the thing about this is that gives me those vibes.
Yeah.
But is that what you're trying to do?
I would say so.
Okay.
It's different for
me.
It
is then.
It's
a drama. It's a drama.
It's a drama. Yeah.
Sounds like it's a family drama.
Yeah, because like for me, like, and you guys will, like, I guess as time goes by, get a sensibility.
Tell us whether you hate Gabe.
Tell us in the comments how terrible being Spider-Man.
You guys are gonna like my idea.
We need you guys. So I mean, we got tons of
Into the Spider Kid verse.
But yeah, I don't know. I really like Edgar Wright stuff. Like
love Ed Wright.
Yeah, like the physical comedy, the music, the pacing, the characters are fun. I do love Marvel films. This one does not. We'll talk more about that in the future. Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
Garcon, could you just get rid of him real quick?
Garcon, give me a water.
But I also like, I don't know, I have a very wide taste of interest, but I also love like very silly, like stupid bathroom humor sometimes. And this just isn't one of those things. Like for whatever reason, I think there's just something that like this film doesn't need to be injected and subverted by silly comedy. I think we could go the route of like Goonies, Sandlot, and honestly, it might need that to make it more fun. And also, I do think our generation is totally lacking, like...
Dude, there's no, like, Sandlot.
What do you call those films again? Coming-of-age films. Our generation is lacking coming-of-age
Very
films.
few.
And if it is a coming-of-age film, it's like an old version of a new coming-of-age film, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, things like Being Simon... Love Simon? Love Simon. Is like...
I haven't seen it.
It's like a teenage rom-com, but for...
Booksmart is really good.
Yeah, exactly. So, anywho, it's... I don't know. It could be that. And honestly, I would love to write that version of it. But I think I would not want that to happen if it takes away from the overcoming the struggle. And you know what's interesting on that point in terms of addressing like the cultural lack of coming-of-age films?
Why is it... Sorry, go on.
Just real quick. On the idea of addressing the lack of...
All right.
I just from under the table the whole time. Coming-of-age films. I think this film... film would address kind of like, I don't know if it's a meta narrative or something that's happening on the surface, the zeitgeist or whatever, where like everybody just assumes that you can only be inspired and juiced by a superhero film. Like, I want people to walk into this and be like, oh, there's actual real people who are hurting and they go through friggin' struggle, and those are like the real superheroes. You know?
Yeah, I get that.
I think it's so easy to be like, good example, and you haven't watched it, but like a lot of people love Wanda Maximoff in WandaVision, and rightly so, because she's a mother who actually hasn't had children, and she's going through a psychiatric break, and she recently lost a loved one, and in many ways she just wants to be a normal woman with a normal husband and live her life.
Yeah.
And she can't because of the circumstances of the Marvel universe and whatnot, you know? But like,
she's like, why did I get trapped in the fucking Marvel universe?
Right, exactly. But in this case, I really would want to all audience expectations of a superhero film, where like you know what you would do to double down even more, and I don't know if this would sell marketing wise, but the film would be all about the setup to the bite. He's gonna get bit, and you would even do like genre tropes in order to set this up, and then it would be subverted by the fact that like, nope, he's not getting powers. How does he overcome this without powers?
I think you would have to do that if you were going to do the spider bite. The spider bite to me is a tough one.
Go on.
Because to me it's sort of comedic.
Really?
I hear it, yeah, and I'm like...
Maybe you don't have to see it then.
Bro, you got bit by a... What?
Maybe you don't have to see it then.
But it feels significant to you that he is obsessed with Spider-Man, which is kind of the reason why you feel like you need to have the spider element.
Here's the thing: the Spider-Man, off the top of my head, I think was just like wherever my head was at the time.
I think you should swap it out with something else.
I don't think it has to be Spider-Man. I think
That's
the
what I'm
kid
saying.
can be in love with like a made-up superhero. It could be freaking Leaf Man, and like he's got posters of like this guy in a green spandex suit and a friggin' like.
This kid's like, Leaf Man's my favorite.
I love Leaf
It's like,
Man.
his parents are like,
And
okay,
he
don't
eats
tell that to
poison
the kids
ivy,
in school.
And he gets like deathly sick from the poison ivy or something, you know. But the point is like,
Don't do that either. I think.
It's like he's like trying to breathe like the
He's
fucking
obsessed
oil.
with Mr. Peanuts. He's allergic to peanuts.
That's terrible.
Dude, he died. Wait, it'd be so crazy if it was just a short.
That's terrible, Dale.
I'm a sick mother. Like I just want Gabe. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be honest with you about
Let's
this
do
pitch.
it.
I need some comedy in this shit.
Really?
Because to me, the Bat Kid thing works because it's a true story.
Okay.
So there's a lot of sentimentality in that story, and a lot of tear-jerking kind of shit.
So what if I just put
But if
on a
it's
true
not-
story at the beginning?
That would be, I would say, unethical is the word that comes to mind. You know what I mean, though? Oh, fuck you, Gabe. I just think if he gets bit by a spider...
Forget the spider! Whatever the
If he
event
gets
is.
bit by a spider, I'm going to be crying loud. Has that happened to has someone ever been bitten by a spider and they're like, wow, now I can't walk?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
That's what I'm saying, Gabe. You haven't done any
There
research
has
into
to
that.
be, no, hold on.
If it's gonna hold on, if he's gonna be paralyzed,
people can die from spider bites.
yeah, Gabe, but he doesn't die in your movie.
That's the point. So I assume that
You
somewhere,
gotta change the spider aspect
Dale,
of it. It's
you
gonna
gotta
drive me
chill, man.
fucking nuts.
The point is
What?
somewhere, somebody in the comments help me out here. Look it up. There's gotta be something.
Yeah, let someone look this up.
Something out
Garcon,
there. I don't
Garcon.
care. Garcon. I don't care if it's Jellyfish Man.
Dude.
I don't care if it's Scorpion Man. Poor you.
Peanut
Like
Man.
Scorpions. Peanut Man. There's got to be something venomous out there that would mess you up but not kill you? Not a crazy
A
leap.
shark.
Sharks are not venomous, Dale.
No, not something venomous. Don't do something venomous, in my opinion.
For the record, guys, Dale thinks sharks are venomous.
No, I don't. But sharks are fucking scary as fuck. And they'll bite your leg off.
Okay.
What if he's into shark, man? And he gets like a shark eats his like torso?
That's a great example.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Not being facetious. That's a great example.
Yeah. He's into Sharkman. Sharkman's a real superhero in this.
What if he
universe.
loves Sharknado and he wants to get picked up?
That would be awesome.
Electric, yeah.
To
Speaking
me,
of sharks,
there needs to be comedy.
Speaking of sharks.
Whales?
Whales.
Oh, you want to transition to mine? So my
Yeah, I mean, if
idea-
you want to give your quick consensus about the comedy or something like that.
I just think there needs to be comedy
Okay, cool.
in this bad boy, or else it's not. In my opinion, it won't work.
Also,
Pop
Dale's a
sauce
terrible
cigar.
writer, by the way, guys.
What terrible writer? Terrible.
Definitely didn't go to school for years.
No, not a good writer. Not a good writer. With that being
We
said,
should post our
Speaking of-
pitches on somehow on the Patreon, or I don't know.
oh, you gotta make we got a lot of things. We gotta make a Patreon for this fucking thing. We gotta make a Gmail account.
I
for
kind of
this
like
fucking
how
thing.
terrible this probably looks right now.
Totally, I'm in. Sold.
Pitch.
I'm picking my nails here.
It's all good. Garcon comes over to the room.
With a dustpan.
No, he's got an ashtray that you just flick the nail.
Yeah. My pitch is called whale penis.
Okay.
Now, my cousins, just a little background. My cousins and I, when we were kids, used to go to the New Bedford Whaling Museum all the time. So no way I could ever pitch this movie. Someone would have to read a script. Because we go to the Whaling Museum all the time. New Bedford, Massachusetts used to be the whaling capital of the world. So in the 1800s through kind of the early 1900s, it was one of the wealthiest cities in the world. It was the whaling capital of the world. It was just this huge whaling port. So there's still a museum like in New Bedford that my cousins and I used to go to all the time. And in the museum, they had, like, literally in a glass case, they had a whale penis, like, suspended in some sort of juice. And this thing is
Formaldehyde,
enormous.
probably.
What?
Formaldehyde?
Sure. Maybe. I don't know. Something that preserves a whale penis. Like, I don't know. And we used to just always go to the whale museum, and that was what we looked forward to the most.
Yeah.
This is actually, I'm realizing, a pretty good pitch because it ties into the thing thematically, which we've talked about.
Go on.
And so the whale penis to us was just like this spectacle. Like, we were obsessed with it. Every time we went to the museum, it was the thing we were there to see.
Yes.
Because we were, not even adolescent boys, like little
wanna see the
boys that
biggest
thought it was
penis in the
hilarious.
world.
We're like, we want to see the biggest penis in the world. So my story is about a man who takes too many penis growth pills, basically, and his dick starts growing to an unfathomable size. And he becomes basically like a circus act. He becomes like a complete freak show.
Yeah.
And it completely ruins his life. And Gabe and I have talked about it, but to me it's a tragic tale. But the reason that story is tied into the whaling museum thing is because, first of all, that's how big this guy's dick gets. It gets as big as a whale's dick, which is like 6 feet long. Right?
Yeah.
Huge. And also, to me, there's a big cultural component to the story, which is that, at least in America, people are obsessed with penises. They're obsessed with penises and penis size. I was actually talking to my therapist about this last week. And to me, like, it's so what's so indicative of that, too, is, like, me and my cousins back in the day, like, being that obsessed. Think about it. We go to this whole whaling museum, laying out the history of this trade that doesn't even exist anymore. And it's, like, this fascinating museum, and that was what we were there to see. It was just, like, whale penises.
Mm.
And so, to me, it is about the cultural fascination with penises. And with penis size. That's what the movie's about.
Right.
But it's obviously very character focused because it's about, wow, how does this guy's life get fucked up by this like sudden huge growth of his penis? That's it. It's whale penis.
Total cock up, if you ask.
If you think this movie's ever gonna get sold, it won't. I'll have to finance it myself.
No, we're gonna sell this. Well, we don't want.
I don't know if it'll make it to theaters.
We want somebody to fund it.
Fine. We want to get it financed. It might have to be a streaming movie. We'll see.
I was telling Dale.
I want to be defeatist, but
I'm a huge fan of having like a manager.
The marketing would just be interesting.
I want this manager character.
Yeah, you want to manage. Yeah, which is a great idea. You had some great ideas when we were talking about it in the kitchen because I've told Gabe about this idea before.
Yeah. This concept gets me. The first time I heard Dale say it, I was like,
no, but then I explained it to you now, and you get it.
What fascinates me when Dale framed it
and I know
as
what the ending
our
is,
current
Sorry, go on.
When Dale framed it as essentially a.
You didn't like that it was a tragedy.
Right now I'm like just I don't know how I feel right now. Observation that what would you call it? It's putting our culture under a microscope. What would you call it?
It's definitely a cultural commentary. It's a
commentary. Interesting.
Yeah.
So, but like, if you're gonna do that, and you're gonna make this guy blow up on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter, or he's on, fucking billboards,
goes on
or
tour.
God forbid, like they literally make like a Madame Tussauds wax.
I think it has to go as far as it can go.
But Dale makes the point that this guy isn't even the celebrity. It's
his
the
penis is a celebrity,
and the idea that like
which is tied into my ending.
He would have the opportunity to potentially remove it, and the question is like, well, what happens if he removes it?
Yeah.
Like, are they gonna preserve that penis, and like that's the only thing people ever care about?
The ending I want is that his hometown. Maybe this isn't an ending. Maybe this is just a part. His hometown. He gets like a statue in his hometown. He's like this hometown hero, but then he sees the statue and it's just his penis. Like he's not even in the statue. Right. They're like, "Oh, we're doing a statue of you." Like he's like, "Wow, amazing." They unveil it. It's literally just his penis.
Home.
Like how fucked is that?
Home of the whale penis, which is fascinating because if we want to be like kind of detailed about this, is it like only the scrotum that like got enlarged, or is it?
I think it's the shaft.
So he's probably got
the balls have to get bigger, right?
Do they have to?
I think I get a little bigger.
I'm just imagining.
The PD on this movie would be insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like they're working the prop.
Dude, honestly, okay, you have to come up with a back brace, like freaking.
Like for the actor?
Yeah.
Well, I think they would have
this paper mache dick around.
Oh my god, this movie would be so good. It would be incredible.
Would you green screen it, or would it be practical?
It has to be a practical dick.
That's heavy, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like you'd have to.
Maybe though. Maybe there's just a way to computerize it.
A steady rig for like a camera.
Yeah, like a steady cam.
They'd have to have some kind of steady rig for the friggin' actor, so his back doesn't collapse under the weight of this 40 pound whale penis.
So many production problems to solve.
So little time.
That's whale penis, though. Let me know in the comments what you think about whale penis. Maybe part of the 5-picture deal that we have with Netflix. You play the scummy manager.
I would say picture number 4. You get the audience buying in on 1, 2, and 3.
Netflix goes, oh, this whole relationship's going great. But what do you want to do for your last one? You whale penis. I dropped the script on Ted Sarandos' desk.
Ted Sarandos like,
Ted Sarandos is like, who are you? I'm like, Ted, I've done 5 movies with you. He's like, all right.
Whale penis?
You got a whale penis? I don't know. That's whale penis.
Why do you like that idea?
I am obsessed with people's obsession with penis size. Yeah, I just realized that's why I like the idea.
Yeah, but that sounds a little bit crude. Truthful, but crude. You really did sell it to me when you were talking about like our culture's obsession with like things that
what I'm
saying?
It does extend beyond
like the celebrity, the idolizing in our culture. It's everywhere. Whether it's the Kardashians Or it's a freak show from
this.
1925 Coney Island. It's like
it's the dehumanization that happens when some aspect of someone, whether it's their body or their personal life, becomes a spectacle.
yes, that is the story.
It's the dehumanization that happens, and that I think it seems far fetched. But think about it. If there was some guy with a 6-foot penis,
yeah,
it'd be all over TikTok. There'd be YouTube videos up the ass about it. There'd be news stories. And I don't think that would be coming from a place of concern or any sort of genuine care for the person.
Yeah.
I think that would all be coming from like a dehumanization. I think that's just kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
But it is a character piece. I mean, you have to just think, because it's all this external stuff and how it's affecting a singular character. And I also want to get into like his relationship with his mother.
But you can also really lean into like predictable aspects of culture, tropes. Yeah. Again,
the manager character would be great.
Right, exactly. The publicist has got to be a thing at some point.
Yeah.
You've got like, I don't know, maybe like...
Think about how many people are making money off of this guy's penis.
That's what I'm saying. Like McDonald's rolls up and it's like, we're going to do a French fry based off like
that would be so good.
You got Subway coming up and they're like, we're going to make the 6-foot long. You know? And you've got...
That would be McDonald's
Super Bowl. And you've got like the cheerleaders like lining up against next to it or some shit like that, you know? Like it becomes a cultural iconic spectacle.
Yes.
And people just...
To the extent that his humanity is erased. It's erased.
It is absolutely erased, yes.
It doesn't even matter whether he's alive or not.
Which is why I'm really, like, what do you think happens at the end of the film? Because this could all happen within a year.
You know what's fucked up? Something just occurred to me.
Go, Dale, go.
He like donates it. It's like comes full circle with like the museum aspect of it, and he like donates his penis to a museum. I don't know, something like that.
What if
But wouldn't that mean that like he's dead? That would mean that he's...
Is he?
I don't know whether he lives or I don't know
that's
yet.
An interesting... Actually, that's a good theme you should think about, like, pocket away. How does the theme of celebrity and spectacle and dehumanization tie into manhood and masculinity?
Absolutely.
Like, how does this man... Even after he loses his
Gabe
celebrity,
great notes.
Even after he gains celebrity, which by the way he never asked for, this man, for all we know, he's a freaking...
All he wanted was a big penis, which by the way is still related to what the fuck we're talking about. Because why does he want a big penis?
Yeah.
Because people are obsessed with big penises. Like
there's this cultural... I talked about the idea that maybe he has a girlfriend.
Yes, and then it becomes too big for anything pleasurable.
So he ends up losing her.
Yeah.
So, like, now what does he have? His publicist and his agent? You know?
Brutal.
Yeah, so, like, where does the manhood... Does he eventually get rid of it? And, like, well, now he's no penis, but, like, maybe that could be, like, a tragic happy ending. It's like the girlfriend's still willing to be with him, even though he doesn't have a penis.
Yeah.
Which, that could be... I don't know. I know you're not really looking for the happy ending or whatever.
I'm not saying...
But
I'm open to kind of any ending, though. I just know that shit happens that just can't.
I like that idea that this man goes through a crazy tragedy.
Yeah.
All to just kind of find a stronger masculine identity, all to kind of like pleasure his partner, and then the celebrity happens, he loses his partner, then the celebrity comes and goes because he becomes a scientific specimen or whatever. Let's go to specimen. And it might be a little bit cliche, but it's kind of like it's like you ever see this is like a real throwback. You ever see Angels in the Outfield?
Yeah.
The kid becomes really good at baseball, blows his friends off, gets famous, loses his freaky arm. It's actually really similar. He gets the freaky arm that he can throw 90 miles an hour. And then in the end of the final inning, he loses it. And he has to figure out how to win the game without being able to pitch well. And then even though he loses his power, he gets his friends back at the end. The complication is his partner still wants to be in his life, even though he doesn't have his penis anymore.
I think he gives up the penis,
Okay.
and I think that there's something where maybe he's able to. It's sort of a fucked up ending, but it's also he gets some relief. He gives the penis away.
While everyone tells him not to. His manager's like, no, don't do that.
Maybe.
It's a terrible idea.
Maybe. He gives the penis away, and then he's literally better off. It's sort of the final statement being like, he's literally better off like just not having a penis at all.
Dude, imagine there's a scene with the doctor where the doctor's like, no, you don't want to cut it off. Like, this is important. You know?
He's like, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean it's important?
It's like this... The girth
Yes.
just totally increases the blood flow for your heart. And I think it's definitely going to reinforce your nutritional
The
values.
doc is just completely bullshitting.
It's totally bull. But like the doctor kind of loves that he's the doctor of the whale penis guy.
Yeah.
And he will, like, his practice is probably blowing up because online he has like pictures with the whale penis guy. Like everybody's benefiting.
Totally,
from
and
knowing
he's
this
like an
person.
Instagram doctor, which maybe is a thing. I don't know if that's, but he's like taking pics of them after.
Right, exactly. And he's like, you need to get your heart rate up. Come down to the whale penis doctor. I'll take care of you. You know, and he's giving out like,
wild, yeah.
Giving what do they call that drug that everybody takes when they want their dick to get hard?
Viagra.
Viagra. Someday, hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Sponsored by Viagra.
I wish. I do think though it'd be so interesting if he gives it up at the end, and that's the only way for him to have any sort of relief. And that to me is some sort of statement. But that to me is some sort of statement about like, I don't know but it's just like he had to give up his manhood, so to speak, altogether in order to be happy, like, at all. Because the obsession got so insane. I don't know. There's something interesting about... He started off trying to take pills to get a bigger dick, and he ends with no dick. There's something kind of interesting about that.
If anything, it's definitely an A to B transformation.
Yes. Physically. But you were going to say something.
Oh, well, I'm just curious, like, why can't he find a way to have self-acceptance?
With the penis?
Yeah, think
well,
about
I think that's kind of the point.
From, like, a crucible perspective.
Sure.
You know, John Proctor is his name?
John Proctor.
John Proctor has to choose between...
That's such a fucking...
admitting that he's a witch and signing his name and, I guess, leaving?
Yeah.
Or dying, but keeping the integrity of his name.
Yes.
And he chooses to die.
Yes.
Is there a version where he could... Is there a version where he could keep the penis? You know?
I don't know. I'll have to figure that out.
Yeah. I don't know either.
This has been Movie Addicts.
I'm very curious if this mic is in my ear right now or if it's coming out. I have a feeling because
we'll see. Yeah,
this hasn't beeped once for me to lose my battery, and I'm like, how have you lasted 2 hours without?
We'll see.
All right.
Is there anything else we want to get to, or are we done?
Well, that's the big bitch pitch.
That's the big bitch pitch session.
After.
Are you still watching?
Are you still there?
Hello?
We had the stick up, but that's for guests.
We're gonna have some guests on. Don't you fucking worry.
Yeah. We'll get.
We need to get Emma Waters on here.
We're gonna get Marty Scorsese as well.
Don't you think we should get Emma?
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Would love Anya.
Yes.
Maybe we'll get Al on.
Al.
That sucks.
You're talking about Al Baldwin, right? Definitely not Alexander Skarsgård.
No, definitely not Alexander Skarsgård.
So you gotta.
It'd be unreal if we got Dom fucking paid on here.
Oh, I can't wait.
That'd be I know you that.
Maybe he'll be a regular.
Maybe.
We'll see. But yeah, so we'll get guests. The cleanup preview, the movie guests that we're talking about next week. Say goodbye.
I think we don't know what movie we're gonna do.
We're gonna talk about Jurassic Park next week. Would that just be easy?
Let's talk about it.
Great.
But let's make sure that we leave some space open.
Yeah.
For that, because I'm gonna go off.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go off, and we'll figure out what movie we're gonna watch and talk about.
Yeah. Oh, can we even shoot next week? We might have to shoot
No,
on
the
Friday.
one episode's gonna come out, and then there's gonna be a big lapse, and then more episodes will come out.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. We have a little testing period. See, like give people some time to listen to the first step,
Yeah, man. First epi.
all that shit.
Well, I mean, honestly, we're gonna have to figure out how to release this thing anyway. We spoke about distribution platforms. We talked about.
We were just Anyway, are we done with the podcast?
Garcon.
All right, thank you for watching or listening to. This has been Movie Addicts.
Yeah, this has been Movie Addicts.
Are we done?
I guess so. I'm kind of bummed. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I fucking ate it up. All right.
Thoughts?
Till next time.
Were you bored?
No, I loved it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Wait, no, damn, not the camera!
No, I fucking ate it up, man.
Well, put in the comments if there's a specific movie you want us to watch. If
Yeah, so we're gonna discuss like a new movie every time.
tell us what you thought about the pitches.
Yeah.
If they were cock-ups or lock-ups.
If the pitches were cock-ups or lock-ups.
Obviously, being Spider-Man was a lock-up, and Will Penis was a
We got two
cock-up.
lock-ups in the house right now.
And
Cool, man.
anything else?
No.
Yeah, we'll find out
This
some
has been
kind of
Movie Addicts.
donation platform as well.
Patreon, we need that.
Yeah, we do need that.
We need that.
We need that, yeah.
Yeah, we need that.
All right, baby. This has been Movie Addicts.
Me a fucking son of a bitch. It's been Movie Addicts.
Peace.
It's been real.
Mrs. Bitch.
Oh man, that was a good one, man.